Next presenter to the table, Steve Jones-Poole from the Shirley Village project. Steve, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you for waiting. And you've got 5 minutes to present to us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, councillors. And thank you very much for your hard work on making all these difficult decisions. I don't think I'd like to be sitting there having to make the choice. I'm Steve Jones-Poole from the Shirley Village project, which is a community-led development project in Shirley. Just wanted to make a submission around the long-term plan, particularly focusing on the reduction of the Strengthen Communities grant budget. I'd just really like to encourage you to keep that budget as it is, or even encourage you to increase it more, just from the value that we get from our communities and what they contribute to making our neighbourhoods a better place, and overall I think reducing the amount of cost to the council and society in general. I think that with the reduction in services, and that would happen if we reduce the budget, that the activities and support the community organisations provide will decrease, and through that we'll also lose social cohesion and the outcomes from that. I think the community organisations are providing really good value for money. They're very connected to the communities. They mobilise community volunteerism and ownership, and this means that they're best positioned to meet the needs of community in timely, appropriate responses. If we don't have those community organisations there to be those links and provide those sort of services, we're then relying more on organisations and agencies to try and meet that, and I do not think we will get the same level of response out of that without the community ownership. So I would encourage you, rather than looking at the Strengthen Community grants to organisations as a cost to council, it should be looked at as an investment that provides good cost to benefit ratios and will actually end up saving the council with expenditure. An example from Shirley is that with residents' ownership, it has now gone graffiti clean, and there is very, very little in the way of council input there now to remove graffiti, because there's been overall reduction in it reoccurring. And there's other things that the residents can do to achieve cost savings. What I like about community organisations is that they can take a very preventative and approach to the causational factors of societal and community problems, and engage residents to actually bring about effective change at a neighbourhood level, and I think that provides much more effective solutions. Look, that's probably about the extent of it. It's really just encouraging to keep that funding going as much as possible, and encourage the use of community development advisors and community groups to bring about change at a community level.
Thank you. So that has left time for some questions. Pauline.
Great. Hey, thanks, Steve, and thanks for the great work that you're doing in Shirley. Look, I just wonder if you might want to sort of give us an example of this paragraph you've put in your submission here, where it says there are improvements that can be made to the way Strengthening Community grants are applied so that repetitive symptom-based reactive responses are reduced and support given for organisations to move to preventative causational focused interventions. So, that's quite a mouthful.
Yes.
So can you just give us an example of what type of thing that you do and to explain what that means?
So what I mean by that is that far too much we're seeing from agencies, organisations and that they're constantly dealing with the same problems over and over for the same people or the same issues in the community. And that's because they're focused on the symptoms, the things that hit the newspaper, the things that we're always trying to solve. People not having firewood, so we give them firewood, but next year we give them another load of firewood and another load of firewood. Mm. Whereas if we can take a more causational approach to it and understand what is actually leading them to not have firewood in the first place, then we can reduce those ongoing costs. So for example, in Shirley, we're in the process of setting up a firewood club where residents are enabled to actually get together and produce their own firewood for themselves. And then you get that sense of ownership. We use that to build community cohesion, we decrease dependency cycle, that sort of thing. So it's really looking at, rather than just doing the same thing over and over and being the ambulance at the bottom of the slope, is how do we stop these problems in the first place.
So yes, it's about how you deliver your projects by getting people together, and that's the main focus of it.
Yep. and
great.
empowering residents to actually do it.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any further questions? All right, so thanks very much indeed for the submission and for coming along and speaking with us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. So.